Hi there, baby sis. Welcome to another episode of Baby Metal. I think you're going to like this one. Well, I think you've already liked the last one, didn't you? Let's go look at it. So today we're going to take a look at a song that is probably, well, as of a few years ago, it was the most requested performance song for their live shows. It's a very important song in their history, very significant time in their career, and it is known as Megitsune. But before we hit that song, I need you to listen to just a bit of this song. This is called Sakura Sakura, or Cherry Blossom, Cherry Blossom. It is a traditional Japanese folk song, and as soon as you hear it, I suspect you're going to realize you've heard it before. But let me play a little bit of it so we can refresh our memories. And pay attention to the first words that are spoken. Okay, so that is the tune. I suspect you've heard it before. I knew I had as soon as I heard it. And now I'm going to play for you Megitsune, the official video, and see if you can pick out this tune in this song when you hear it. And we're going to run through this song completely without stopping it, and then we're going to go back and take a look at some salient points relevant to baby metal's culture. I'll just put it that way.
Oh my gosh, 関税を
Megitsune. Pretty cool, huh? That's what I think anyway. So, this song is on Babymetal's first album, self-titled Babymetal. It is a very significant video, and I'm going to hit on some highlights of why it's significant. And I'm going to take us back to the beginning of the song to make some points here. Now, everything that I'm about to tell you, or most everything, has come from Professor A.J. Hartley's breakdown of this song. He is a professor he's a Shakespearean professor at University of North Carolina, as well as a best-selling author. He's had 2 books on the New York Times bestseller list. So I really enjoyed his breakdown of this song, and I wanted to hit some high points because it's significant to what Babymetal is attempting to say here, at least in his opinion, and I think it's a good opinion. And I will link the video in which he breaks this down really far. And if you're a member of the One, and you haven't seen this, you need to go see it. In fact, he does this with a few songs of Babymetal, as well as the lore that surrounds them, and as well as Japan itself, Japanese culture itself. And I am always riveted by everything that he does, and I suggest that you probably will be too. So, this is your first exposure, sister, to what is known as Kitsune. And a Kitsune is a fox, but it's really not that simple. A Kitsune is a guardian fox in the Inari sect or subsect of Shintoism. And so it is considered a guardian messenger. And everything that I'm telling you is a simplified version. Even Professor Hartley himself has a difficult time expressing the broad spectrum of meaning behind much of what you're about to hear. But for our purposes here in the West, and we can take from it at least as what we can, and try to understand it in the context of the song. So a Kitsune, being a fox, but more than a fox, these Kitsune guardian messengers have abilities such as shape-shifting. They may have more than one tail, which will come into play here in a second. And they can even shape-shift into, we'll say it here, females. And I didn't see whether or not Professor Hartley said anything about males. So, but I'm assuming they can take any form. So, this song is sort of a coming out party. And this time it's a festival. And it's not like Doki Doki Morning was, the last one you saw, where they were announcing to the world, this is J-pop combined with metal. We call it kawaii metal. Now they're saying, this is who we are. This is where we're going. This is where we're coming from when we speak to you. So let's open the video up again and take a look at what is sort of being transmitted visually as well as verbally. Okay, so what just happened there, I know we just started, but we have to observe this. What just happened there is you see Sue Metal in traditional garb, right? And Yui and Moa are unwrapping her from that traditional dress. At the same time, they're in a shrine. But Professor Hartley pointed out that it almost lit like a dollhouse, which he thinks is somewhat significant to the meaning of the song. It's brightly lit. It's not like it's less of a holy atmosphere and more of a brightly lit modern atmosphere, okay? And much of this song juxtaposes traditional feminism with modern feminism. The sort of coming out of it. So here they are. And another thing is you'll notice that they're wearing boots in the shrine, which is obviously they would not normally do that. It would be barefoot. So they're unwrapping her. And when they get done, we get this totally different look. All right. So notice that, and in Japan, dancing has meaning, has absolute meaning, everything they do. And Professor Hartley points out that if you notice the wide stances that they take, this is not something you can do in a kimono, right? So they're making a statement simply by opening like this. You know, there's a certain amount of breaking away from the traditional female character, you know, what she's supposed to be like. In the background, the band is playing traditional instruments rather than modern instruments. There's just all this juxtaposition going on in this video has meaning, and most of it gets away from us here in the West. So now they're using this very festival type, more modern approach to the female projection. Okay, when you hear the soya, 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 what you're hearing is encouragement. It's like, I want to say it's like when we cheer somebody on if they're running down the football field or and have it, you know, they're on their way to the end zone. But it's more than that. It's sort of a encouragement type thing in festivals when they're carrying heavy shrines and that kind of thing. The crowd encourages them with this soy, soy, soy. And so it's another a festival affectation within the song. This party, this gigantic, more than a party, and we'll stop there. Now that bup, 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 bup is a imitation. It's another onomatopoeia like Doki Doki was of a fox barking. So what Moa and Yui are doing is not backup singing, but rather they're making commentary on the song. So that's what you're hearing is more like everything that they do, the sore, 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 and the bup, 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 bup. It's this commentary on what is being sung by Sue. So we'll go on. Now, what we have here, and this is something that I read. Professor Hartley didn't bring this up. I read that this is sort of imitative of an older Japanese movie. I think it was like 1958, about a Megitsune, and we'll get to that in a minute. So that they're reflecting this old movie, and that's why it flips back to black and white when it goes traditional. She's dressed traditionally, her hair's in a traditional hairstyle, and she's in a traditional setting. So it flips back to this black and white, this idea of this is older tradition. This is not set in stone, but yeah, set in stone, sort of. So they'll flip back and forth between the color, the modern breakout of tradition, and the black and white traditional. Okay, now you have the traditional song Sakura Sakura, only the words are going to be changed. And notice that Sue Metal is wearing the fox mask, the Kitsune mask. So here we go. Now, that's very haunting, isn't it? I meant to say that earlier. So this haunting refrain that she's singing is kitsune, kitsune, as opposed to sakura, sakura. So they substituted in the same three syllables, and it worked beautifully. So, and I'll tell you what she's saying in a minute. Okay, so what she, according to Professor Hartley, and again, Japanese doesn't translate exactly to English, but she's saying, Kitsune, kitsune, fox, fox, I'm a vixen female fox. Women are actresses, and that's where we get the image of the kitsune mask, In other words, traditional Japanese women have to conceal their emotions, all right? And they're not allowed to express them. And what is potentially a weakness, they are saying in this song, is actually a strength, because the kitsune guardian is a clever animal, clever guardian messenger, and it is able to deceive or be mischievous, but when it is a Megitsune, which is the female fox, it is a fully, absolutely, completely female fox. So there is a difference in how that's expressed, and that's because there's a depth of emotion to the female fox, the Megitsune, that's not necessarily present in a kitsune, where it could be more playful in its deceptions or its pranks that it pulls, that kind of thing. So, so then, what is a weakness or potentially a weakness in having to conceal emotions becomes a strength, because you don't know what's going on behind that mask. And so that's sort of the thrust of that haunting refrain, and it leads up to a declarative statement shortly. So let's go on. Now, this is something I noticed, but they juxtapose, and this is my opinion, it may not even be true, but they juxtapose Yui and Moa. Let me back up a little bit. Playing Go, I'm assuming this is Go that they're playing, and it's all in color, and it's all open and outside, and they're still in their childhood. It's perfect because of their ages. Yet Sue Metal has come out of Sakura Gakuin. She's graduated, so she has come out now and is fully baby metal. Okay, and this leads down the road to more baby metal lore, but for now that's all we need to know. And so these two, in their playfulness and their youth and in their carefree attitude, are juxtaposed against the traditional Sue facing a traditional female role in Japanese society. Now that line that you just heard comes from a movie. It's been altered a little bit for the sake of the video, but it's essentially the same thing. It says, the maidens are, don't underestimate us or we're coming for you. Basically is what Professor Hartley said was being said here. I've heard it throughout the internet stated another way, and that is, don't underestimate a maiden. I think either one applies. Again, the translation of Japanese to English can be flexible in a lot of ways. So you notice that where that knife is hidden is in the microphone, which is her daily, this is her daily tool, right? This is what she uses all the time. And yet underneath that, there's danger. And because Megitsune can change into a female form, there are folk tales that surround this very thing happening, where a young man will save a kitsune when it is in distress of some kind, and then later on he meets a woman and marries her, and 40 years later finds out that she's actually a Megitsune, that fox that kitsune that he rescued. There's a whole lot more, and it is usually revealed when he's done something as a betrayal to the woman. So that's kind of the idea here. Don't betray us. We're not all fluff and light, right? We're not traditional Japanese demure women. So the idea of the song is this, and it combines with the idea of we're coming out. We're no longer cherry blossoms. Sakura has been replaced by kitsune in the very melody that's used for that traditional folk song. Fascinating stuff to me, because it helps you to understand Japanese thinking in their culture. So I think I've said everything I want to say about this. And I'm sorry if I've missed anything. I highly recommend that you go to Professor Hartley's channel, and I will link specifically to the video that explains this song. And if you want to explore further, you'll be there on his channel, and you can do so. and subscribe to him. From what I can tell, he's a great guy, very knowledgeable, and fun to listen to. So I hope you enjoyed this. From this point forward, we're going to dive into live performance. This is where Babymetal lives, in the live performance. And there's nothing like it on earth. There is no show like it on earth. And we will do it by taking selections. We won't be completely out of the woods on music videos. There's a couple more I want to do. But we will take selections from all 4 albums and show live performances. The most will probably come from the first 2 albums. Each album has its own character. But as we get closer to the present time, we'll leave a lot for you to explore on your own. So this was Megitsune, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope I explained it well enough for you. And I will see you next time. Have a great week, and I'll call you on Christmas. All right. Bye-bye now.